Hello, everybody, and welcome to my introduction to spooky season. And I guess spooky season kind of starts September 1st, or so I'm told. But I wanted to highlight some books. I'm probably going to do one or two a week. And I know this is one that might have been Friday the 13th or spooky season kickoff I did with Tessa. I don't remember. I kind of talked about these, but I wanted to kind of highlight and go into a little bit more detail. And the books I'm talking about are ThatTexas Blood, which was a series that the first trade when it came out, I hated. Actually, I only said the first trade, like the first issue. It was so slow moving. And for some reason, I don't know why, I stuck with the book and kept going with it. And then it got up to where volume 2 starts. And as soon as you start going into a family looking for their lost daughter that ran off with a cult leader or possibly abducted, it was very Manson family, except a lot more Satanism. And this is volume 2. And it is kind of a mystery. There is a private eye who's been trying to solve this case over the years. And as the book keeps going and the issues keep going, you as the reader get dragged in more to the mystery of what happened. Was it just a cult of personality? Were they Satanists? Did it work? Like some panels like this in the background that kind of heighten as they're going through a mansion. And of course, all these stories happen in Texas because, of course, if I can find a good picture of our Jim Morrison like killer, we also have the cultists with red hoods. One of them they showed kind of looked like the Zodiac killer. And this story kind of flashes back, and it happened in 1981 originally. And a lot of it is time jumps. But here we have the cult leader, who weirdly also looks like the character Mega from Power Fantasy. This volume in particular made me fall in love with this series. And I gotta say, I was incredibly taken back by it because I was not expecting for it to. I was not expecting to hook me in like it did. It was something that just kind of shocked me. And I highly recommend it. It is $16.99 retail. You can probably go to different sites and get it cheaper, or Barnes and Noble when they have their buy two get one free. 100% pick this up. The writing is great. Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips, great team. And that takes us to the one that was where one is more psychological, kind of paranormal horror, with the occult and, cults. This has to do with a serial killer called the Red Queen Killer. And it wears this creepy smiling mask and has been killing people for a while, but gets stuck in this Texas town. And it is in the middle of a blizzard in the town and starts killing. The phones are kind of down, the roads are down. And I mean, this kind of kicks off the series. This is how they find one of the bodies left by the Red Queen killer. And it does such a great job of heightening everything. And like the killer using a hacksaw. This is a book, and as it goes on, it's heightening. And then we get kind of the mystery where it's leaving calling cards like the Bloody Queen. But I do love the creepiness and simplicity of this Cheshire cat-like mask that the killer wears. And we see here in the blizzard of how the town is. And it adds this extra level of stress to the book, which I know they had always talked about. Man, what would be weird if they had a Friday the 13th movie that happened, with snow in the woods, which Womp Stomp Films did Never Hike in the Snow. So they did get to do that. But again, more of the Cheshire Cat looking killer in this. And we get to see, how snowed in everything is. And the thing I do love about this, they show the psychological ramifications to the victims and the people who are finding the bodies. It's something so little, but I think that gets left out a lot, is kind of the PTSD that people get when they are in this situation. If they're the hunted, if they're the ones that find the bodies. And they do a masterful job of the fear and just inability to function after all this happens. And again, the energy and symmetry that Condon and Phillips in their creativeness doing this does so much tribute to it. And there are quiet scenes where the art tells you everything you need to know, whereas it doesn't need words. When there are words, they are impactful, but there is an impact even in the quiet scenes where the art is telling the story. So this is just me. Like, I don't want to spoil the whole book or anything or go hyper detailed into it. This is just these are books that I think for the season, totally worth checking out. You might be able to get the whole ThatTexas Blood run cheap, either on eBay if you don't want to do the trades, or, just head to your LCS and pick them up. But this is high on my list, and the past 2 Halloweens, it has been a reread for me. So that's my recommendations. If there's stuff you'd like to recommend to me, hit me up in the comments, or hit me up on Instagram. It's Comicchopnews. There's underscores between each word. So hit me up. Let me know what you think if you read these. And I will catch you probably in a week or 2 when I start new videos talking about some of my other favorites. And also Carlito and I will be starting up our Halloween videos, hoping to be 1 a week for our streams, but we'll see if we can keep the schedule. And for Ink Panel's graphic novel book club, Gambit has picked Anthony Bourdain's Hungry Ghosts for our Halloween book.